Okay, so let's start today's webinar. It is about the Montessori apparatus. Today's webinar is on the Montessori apparatus. Okay, so many of you are over here doing the Montessori and even some from other courses also. Yes, Abhilasha, want to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So, yes, Madhuri.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Ma'am, showing the slides.
Is the slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
okay. So, any one of you can tell me that what is a Montessori apparatus? Anyone?
Montessori apparatus means the children who are learning and improving their skills, whether the writing, speaking, and listening.
What is that? This thing?
Ma'am, it is correct
No,
or not?
not exactly correct. I'm talking about what is a Montessori apparatus. Why do we teach Montessori apparatus in schools?
So that there
Why
is
is it?
Should I answer?
To
Yes,
get the
yes,
knowledge.
Basically, they are gifts or they're some kind of objects to help children learn the three-dimensional way of learning and, associating different things with objects. So like,
Yes.
it's a way of educating children through objects so that they learn in more ways than just one.
Anyone?
it's an apparatus to help the children learn more easily.
Yes. So, see, Montessori materials are indigenous hands-on learning tools that are designed to stimulate the kids' mind and to encourage and explore and to inspire the independent learning. Okay, so they are enticing, simple to use, and intentionally support children's learning. So together, the Montessori materials come together to form a Montessori curriculum. See, these Montessori materials teach only one skill at a time to provide the children with the opportunity to master key learning outcomes through repetitions and the practice. So every day, these children coming to school, they are doing the same thing repeatedly and they are practicing the same thing every day. So in this context, Dr. Montessori stated that nothing goes into the mind that does not first go through the hands. So first of all, they need to be introduced. These children are first introduced to the Montessori materials by a trained educator who will present a key lesson, that is the basic lesson, and then they will invite the child to work with the material independently. When they have finished working with the activity, the children return to each materials or the things, the apparatus which they have used, and they will again uh, relocate to the place in the prepared environment. Okay, so these Montessori materials are presented to the child in sequence from the easiest way to the hardest and in accordance with their developmental needs and interests. So this is a clear structure, provides a logical and ordered progression for learning, which in turn promotes the gradual layering of the knowledge. Okay. Now, what are the advantages of this Montessori education? See, A Montessori environment for your child has many benefits. Known for the individually paced learning and fostering independence, the Montessori method also encourages the empathy, a passion for social justice, and a lifelong learning. So, Montessori students become confident, enthusiastic, self directed learners, and they, at a certain time, after a certain time, they think critically, they try to work collaboratively, and even they try to act boldly in some of the scenarios. Okay, so each child is valued as a unique individual. So Montessori education recognizes that children learn in different ways and accommodates all learning styles. Students are here free to learn at their own pace, giving each advancing as he is ready, guided by the trained teacher and an individualized learning plans. Clear? Any question till now? So, beginning at an early age, Montessori nurtures order, concentration, and independence. Intentional classroom designs, materials, and daily routines supports the students' emerging self-regulation in toddlers through adolescence. Now, students are part of a close, caring community. So, here in the multi-age classroom, typically spanning from 3 years, structure. Older students enjoy themselves as a mentor and a role models. Younger children feel supported and gain confidence about the challenges ahead. Teachers models the respect, loving kindness, and a peaceful conflict resolution. Here, this Montessori students enjoy the freedom within limits. Students are supported in becoming active seekers of knowledge. Teachers provide the environments where students have the freedom and the tools to pursue the answers to their own questions. So, internal satisfaction drives the child's curiosity and interest and results in joyous learning that is sustainable over a lifetime. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But the screen is not
Yes.
I have stopped sharing. I have stopped sharing.
Why?
Now, why do we use Montessori apparatus? See, these Montessori materials are hand-on learning tools that are designed to provide the children with opportunities to discover the key learning outcomes through repetition and the practice. Each material teaches one skill at a time and is intentionally designed to support the independent learning and problem solving. So it even gives the freedom and the support to question, to probe deeply, and to make the connections with the apparatus. Montessori students become here very confident, enthusiastic, self-directed learners. They are able to think critically, work collaboratively, and act boldly. This is the reason why we use this Montessori apparatus. Now, how does Montessori classroom work? This classroom is designed as a community for the kids of different ages to interact and learn from one another. The atmosphere here is calm and inviting and decorated with the appropriate furnitures. Okay, so equipment should be such that kids can work on gross motors and fine motor skills, such as low door handles, staircase railings and appropriate height of the shelves, because when they are bringing one Montessori apparatus and they are using it, we train them that after using it you should keep those things in the proper place. So the shelves, the height of the shelves should be of the child's height only. So to set up the Montessori apparatus, they can use natural lighting and greenery instead of too much plastic and synthetic materials. They can put all the books and the toys in a easily accessible shelf so the little ones can access it easily. Okay. They can use wooden materials and open shelves to create a homely atmosphere. So they can use the walls to decorate the art kids make, like because what they visualize in the home through their TV, that is mainly the cartoon things, so they can decorate the wall with that. This space should feel like their space, so encourage the decoration according to the kids in the class. And in the Montessori classroom, we can use lots of mats and keep a space open for the kids to crawl from one place to another and even run around as they want. Okay. Now, the 4 planes of development are as follows. That is, the first plane is age 6. That is early childhood or absorbent mind, you can see. So this creative period is characterized by striving for physical and biological independence, constructions of the individual. These children effortlessly absorbs what they experience. Through age 3, to 6, absorption becomes conscious. Common sensitivities in this plane include language, movement, order, refinement of the senses, and concrete experiences, small objects, and socialization. Okay. Uh, then is the second plane, that is the ages from 6 to 12, that is the childhood. So this development period is characterized by a craving for mental or intellectual independence. In the second plane, the children begin to display the ability to reason and use abstract thinking. So here the child begins to search for a sense of moral order in addition to physical order. So children begin to take a charge of their learning based on their interest and desires. So common sensitivities in this plane include like abstractions and imaginations, morality and justice, culture, peer and social interactions. Okay. The third plane is ages from 12 to 18. This is the adolescence period, or you can say as a new identity. So this creative period is characterized by an effort to construct a social personality beyond the childhood. In this adolescent strive for social and economic independence and a sense of control of their life arises. Okay. During this often turbulent time, your child must have received proper nutrition and sleep, as well as time to process and reorient. So here the common sensitivities include like social justice, heroes and role models, personal dignity, sense of belonging. Here the question arises why, if you ask them to do, not to do, a question arises why should I not do, what is the reason behind thing. So if you praise them also, they feel like they are the heroes, the role models. This kind of thinking comes here. Okay. Now the fourth plane is from the ages 18 to 24, that is the maturity period. Here the development period is characterized by the spiritual, emotional and moral independence. These mature individuals spend time thinking about their place in contribution to the society and humanity. Here they start thinking, uh, what can I do for the society? I can do this thing, I can do that thing. If you ask them what is their aim, what is their ambition in their life, they will say, I want to become like that, I want to be like this. So these type of things comes in their mind. Okay, here the common sensitivities include, that is the personal interest, social independence, evaluation of a social policy, personal responsibility. These are the things it comes over here. Clear till now? Should I proceed? See, these are the few Montessori apparatus we use in the classroom. Okay. Now, Montessori apparatus includes four things, that is the practical life, sensorial, language, mathematics. Now, why are this? What are these practical materials? So, practical life materials teach the children to move safely within their environment, interact with and influence their surroundings, and explore the relationship between the physical objects. This is the practical life. Now, why the importance of practical life in Montessori? So, in practical life in Montessori is purposeful activity. It develops the motor control and the coordination, and develops independence, concentration, and a sense of responsibility. The main purpose and aim of practical life is to help the child gain the independence, and it even helps the child to gain the independence and adapt to his society. So in practical life, what we have a pouring, we have sorting, we have dressing friends, we have napkin folding. Okay. Now, what is pouring? Yes, Paki?
Pouring basically transferring some kind of from one vessel to another vessel.
Yes. Pouring can be of two things. One is a weight, and the other one is your weight
Dry.
thing.
Wet and dry.
Wet and dry.
Here's another lesson on pouring. This is a lesson you want to make available to the child who has already become confident with pouring something that's dry, whether it be the coffee beans or something small like little tiny beads. Give them the success in pouring something that is easier to clean up. Here's how you will do the lesson on pouring with water and what you will need for the lesson. Here's what you will need for the lesson. Identical to our dry pouring lesson, you will need 2 spouted pitchers, a tray that is comfortable to take off of a shelf and carry something with some weight. Sometimes, if you fear it might slip around, you can get some shelf liner that has a little bit of a rubbery texture to it just to help them. But again, carrying the tray from the shelf to their workspace is part of the lesson. It helps with their gross motor coordination. And you will need a sponge for any cleanups and water. What we've done is we've colored the water just to make it a little bit more interesting. We've just added a drop of green food coloring. Again, with this lesson, your child will be sitting next to you. How to do this lesson, but because you're my child in this case, I'm going to be showing you as if you're sitting in front of me. But when you show your child, make sure they're sitting next to you. Good? That's it.
Clear? This is the weight pouring. Same way you can do with anything with the dry thing. Anything you can do same thing with the dry materials also. You can take some beans or pulse. Next one is your dressing frames.
Whatever your thing is, we've got the right domain for you. Search the largest selection of domains. See what you find.
Invite your child to bring any one of the dressing frames to the table and to sit with his hands in his lap until I'm finished showing him the lesson, and then it will be his turn. I'm only going to show you the large button dressing frame. The presentation or the lesson is given in exactly the same way for all of the dressing frames. Remember, movements are to be very slow, very deliberate, so that they can see every single movement.
Hey Soumya, 6:30 हो गए.  6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6:30 हो गए. 6
Only thing to note here is that the movements again are very slow and very deliberate, and we always move from the top to the bottom. Good luck with the dressing frames.
You can do this with this type of frame, or if you have a shirt in home, you can practice your child with buttoning and unbuttoning with a shirt, with the help of a shirt. This will also help. Now coming to the sensorial materials. Now, Montessori sensorial materials serve the primary purpose of developing and refining the different senses. The materials are designed to help the students experience, notice, and categorize information all around them. Students use these materials to build their understanding of various sensory concepts and to develop the vocabulary needed to define and describe this phenomenon. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of the sensorial apparatus? The purpose of the sensorial material is to aid the child in refining the child's speech, temperature, weight, and is utilizing the language in describing these qualities. So these materials are an integral part of developing the whole child, directly building the mathematical mind and indirectly preparing for writing. Now, in sensorial, what are the things are there? So in sensorial language, there are round stairs, colored tablets, long stairs, cylindrical blocks, knobless cylinders.
Fit Me foundation from Maybelline, New York.
The foundation that fits me perfectly.
And me.
And me. And all of us.
18 shades that fit 100% Indian skin tones. 16-hour oil control. Your most natural matte finish.
Fits me.
Fit Me foundation from Maybelline, New York.
Hello everybody, Leanne here from the wonderful world of Montessori, and today we are working with the pink tower, and I'm going to be working with Lawrence today. Okay, Lawrence, are you ready on my boy? Yeah. Today we're going to build the pink tower, okay, from the biggest one to the smallest one. I'm going to have a turn, and then when I'm done, it's going to be your turn. Okay. pink tower? Would you like to build a pink tower? Sure. You can have it too.
Yes, Pratibha.
Ma'am, please show once again starting pink
Pink
tower.
tower.
Yes, ma'am. Starting.
Okay, all right, all right.
Wonderful world of Montessori, and today we are working with the pink tower. And I'm going to be working with Lawrence today. Okay, Lawrence, are you ready, my boy? Today we're going to build the pink tower. Okay, from the biggest one to the smallest one. I'm going to have it turn, and then I'm going to turn. Okay, okay. you like to build a pink tower?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Clear, Pratibha?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Next is your brown stairs.
আজ খাবার আমি বানাবো
কাটলেট চাও হাক্কা মারছে
Larger one to the smaller one. Next is the importance of the language materials. Now, these Montessori language materials are designed primarily to teach the children the intricacies of written and the spoken language. From crafts of writing and speaking will allow the students to progress with their learnings. Students use language materials to explore the letter, sound, handwriting, and eventually spelling and writing also. Now, in this language, there are things like sandpaper letters, movable alphabets, writing inset, reading analysis chart.
This video about how to use sandpaper letters in a Montessori environment is brought to you by thelearninglanding.com.
Hi, I'm Miss Ann. I'm a Montessori teacher. I am AMS certified, and I'd love to teach you about the sandpaper letters. The larger sandpaper letters because they are easier to see for a small child. What I do is I bring out each of the letters, and we use 2 fingers, and we practice the sound. Down, around, around. And a child will trace the letter and learn the sound. So the smaller letters, we always start with the larger letters. The smaller letters are an extension because they're smaller, and as their fine motor skills get better, they're able to trace them. Montessori starts with lowercase over uppercase because we read in lowercase. So we want them to know the sounds in lowercase so that they can read. So instead of saying T-A-M or T-A-A-M, we wanted to say T-am, T-am, tam. So they're beginning to phonetically put words together. We have a lesson where we take the sandpaper letters over and we knock on them. Who's there? Who's there? Ah. Who's there? T. Can you take the T and put it under the chair? And the child will put the T under the chair. Can you take the ah and put it on the table? And the child will bring it over and put it on the table. Can you go get the T from under the chair? And the child will bring the T back from under the chair. Can you go get the ah from at the table? And the child will bring the ah back from the table. What we're encouraging them to do is to move, because you learn through movement, and it gives them a chance to reflect upon the letter that we're discussing as they are learning the different letter, because they do need to move and to sit to concentrate for a long extended period of time. For someone between the ages of 3 to 6, it's just sometimes harder for some than others.
And is your movable alphabets.
Did you see that? Classmates, AR notebook. It looks so interesting.
Hi guys, today I am with Loi and we are going to be doing the large movable alphabet with a pink box. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Loi, do you know what this is?
Zip.
Very good. What is the first sound you hear when I say Z?
Also can be for zip.
What is the next sound you hear when I say E? What is the last sound you hear when I say
Z.
Loi, what is this? A cot. Baby sleep. Cot.
Cut.
Cot. What is the first sound you hear when I say What is the next sound you hear when I say
Oh.
What is the next sound you hear when I say What is that?
Jet.
What is the first sound you hear when I say J?
Jet. Jet.
What is the next sound you hear when I say
Eight.
What is the last sound you hear when I say J? What's this one? Pen. Pen. What is the first sound you hear when I say pen?
Next is the importance of mathematics. So here Montessori math materials helps the children approach maths with hands-on, visual and physical learning aids. Mathematical abilities makes an estimation, does quantification, it identifies the resemblances, differences and patterns, so it can put everything in order and make sense of the world around it. So under this mathematics, number rods, sandpaper numbers, spindle boxes, golden bead material and 10 boards are there. Okay, so I'll show you the number rods.
এখন 10 হাতের শক্তিওয়ালা সার্ফ এক্সেল ইজি ওয়াশের প্যাকের দামও পড়লো এখন মাত্র 65 টাকায়।
Today we're going to do number words. What is this activity? Number words. This is the word of one. One. This is the word of two. One, two, two. One, two, two. This is the word of three. One, two, three. Three. One, two, three. Three. Three, two, one. Now I'm going to ask you for something. Can you give me the rod of two? Very good. Thank you. Now, can you count the rod of two? One, two, two. Now, can you give me the rod of one? One. Yes, very good. Can you count the rod of one? Now, can you hide the rod of three? Hide the rod of three. Where is the rod of three? Do you have it? Are you sure? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now can you count the rod of three? One, two, three. Very good. Okay. How much is this? One. How much is this? Two. How much is this? Three. Three. Very good. How much is this? Two. How much is this? One. How much is this? Three. Very good.
This is the sandpaper number.
The sandpaper numbers are a similar presentation as the sandpaper letters. Begin by tracing the number. 1. 1. 1. Sit 3 times. 2. 3. child trace the number 3 3 times. Then begin your 3-period lesson. Ask the child, please trace 2. The child should then trace 2, and once they finish tracing, say 2. Trace 3. The child should then trace 3, just as shown, and say 3. Please trace 1. The child should trace 1 and say 1. Continue this until you feel that the child understands and traces correctly the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Then ask the child, trace this and tell me what it is. The child will then trace 1 and say 1. Please trace this number. The child will then trace 3 and say 3. Trace this number. The child will then trace 2 and say 2. Once you feel confident that the child knows and understands the numbers 1, 2, and 3, you may continue with 4, 5, and 6 in a similar manner, and then 7, 8, and 9.
Next one is the spindle box.
Do you know that 3 out of every 4
Invite the child to do the spindle box. The child should have previous knowledge of the numbers, the numerals, and what their names are, and this helps them to learn the quantity. Once again, we have a left to right orientation. 1. 1. 2. 1. 2. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always invite the children to count into their other hand so they can feel the amount getting larger by 1 each time. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By this time the amount is quite large for some of the small hands. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at this time, I'll introduce the concept of 0. And 0 will be the control of error for this, because if you get to 9 and there's still some spindles in here, you can say, we must have put too many in one of these numbers. So we can introduce the concept of 0 being the empty set. And for putting them away, I count them into the other hand. Let's put away 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes, Rafia?
8, 9. I'm going to put away 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to put away 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put away 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can feel the amount getting smaller. I'll put away 5. 1.
Just a simple question I'm asking. Why it is from starting to the end, they're counting 1, 2, 3, 4 in this way, continuing till 9. Again from the back counting from the 9 to 1. Why it is? Can anyone say? Anyone?
That's why they learn backward count and frontward count.
Transcending order and both the way that they go both the way. And the holding, the number counting 1, 2, taking 2 sticks, while 3 they are taking 3 sticks. So in this way the counting also they are learning. The back counting and the forward counting.
2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put away 3. 1, 2, 3. I still encourage the children to count this amount into their hand, even though they might be able to grasp them all in one go, because then it's another practice of counting, and they actually feel the amount getting smaller. I'm going to put away 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to put away 1. Sometimes for fun, and the children seem to really...
Even one thing you will notice that in the beginning only I told you that these children are invited to play with the apparatus, and even after using those apparatus they are taught to keep in their proper place. So what is it? First they are doing it, then keeping it to their back to their places, so that the next child can come and that child can use this spindle box. This is also a one type of teaching. Okay. Any questions? Any doubt? Please mail me. I'll reply you back. Any doubt regarding the session? Any questions you have?
Ma'am, please share your mail ID.
You got a mail from my side only for joining this session.
Okay, ma'am.
Did you receive?
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, then also just write it down, APTTI academics07@gmail.com.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubts, any question, please mail me. I'll give a reply on the mail itself.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? So winding up today. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome.
Thank you.